Tell us is that the sun, I think it has officially moved into Aries. That means that the current sun, if you haven't noticed it, it's like a switch over. Bing! New Year. It's Happy New Year. As far as that zodiacal reset, and if you can't feel it in the sky, then congratulations. Well, it's not different. It's the truth. Okay, so the New Year just happened in the Southern Hemisphere. I think they're celebrating fall. But either way, it's pointed out that Earth is on the Aries Libra, and that's where these eclipses are happening. That's happening, the full moon eclipse here in this month is Libra, so it's Venus ruled. It's being eclipsed by the Earth, which is Venus ruled. So these two are not getting along, they are getting along, see. What astrology is pointing at is the evolution of human consciousness, not just in the human embodiment. It is suspected that the universe is human. Like it's kind of like the Aries would say, what part of one do we not understand? Arieses are cute. They are the superheroes. They are the first. They are the babies. They're the ones that's crying, red-faced, and don't sit there and judge them. Look, is there a problem? Yes. They're not lying. They're very frank people. They're laying in a pile of shit. Can you help them out? No? Well, you don't qualify to have kids. Next! Hi, Christ. I was trying to talk about how to say it. You know, the very first sign is ruled by Mars. That is just, I would say now, that sign, Mars, I do associate Aries with the human being, just like Aquarius is humanity, but the very scientific side of how they operate, literally, the science. Like there's the heart, that's where we get Aquarius has Valentine's Day, it's pointing at the heart chakra. And you'll have to have a holiday about that and kind of sneak it in there because why? It's the main organ that is electrically hooked up to you and I and everything. I mean, it's one way. It's not just one way to learn, it's the only way to learn because it's experiential reality. You have to get into your body, and then I hate to tell a lot of people that are afraid of this, but you have to feel. You have to feel things emotionally. It's more than that. See, you will gauge, well, that was great. That was not great. You're going to keep doing this. And through that, we have everything that possibly you like or don't like. See, there's people doing things that are amazing. Getting back to the Aries, your superheroes, the ones that did it first, the ones who says, I just did it. Have courage. Be brave. They're hang gliding or whatever gliding, they figure out a fucking way to glide. You know, they get bored around here. It's the human spirit. And we're not here to put our helmets on and our bubble wrap and turn on the TV and watch somebody else get down with the bad selves. What I'm here to try to tell you is to look at the first emergence is just an apparatus that starts to tune in its nerves, right? It says, I am. See, that's fire. That's a lot of energy. It's just fire that says, I am. That's just a fact. Energy is energy, and it's just however you want to see it. A dog turd, a star, they are equals, especially if you can see it with your senses. Earth sign, Taurus is Venus ruled. Earth is Venus ruled. Venus is usually pointing at the woman, and it does. Well, what causes an eclipse of the moon, the moon is very feminine to begin with. If we look at its rulership, it's Cancer. Cancer has been converted into a disease. By the way, if you have feelings, you have a disease. No, no, they're mocking us there. They're saying, can you figure out Cancer? Come on. If you ignore your feelings, if you ignore your emotions, you're going to get a disease. You're going to get more and more into disease. You have a profound responsibility which involves the obligation to get more responsive maybe and to your nerves. which is, let's get back to Aries. We're going to move back and forth here. See, we went to Cancer, which kind of squares Aries, you know. They think they feel, but the Cancer is ultra feeling. That's moon ruled. It's the feminine aspect again. It's pointing at the mother, but it's really the intuitive side. It's our feminine aspect. I love doing this, by the way. I'm supposed to be a motivational speaker, so thank you for unsubscribing if you don't appreciate people that are finding their mode of operating in life, as I represent the Librian generation, of course. Anybody who has a stellium, which I do, 369, Sun, Pluto, Mars, and then the Mercury conjunct Uranus. The Pluto generation is the Pluto in Libra and also the Uranus in Libra, and they were born between, I think it's around 1969 to 1976 or 9, depending on when Uranus finally left with Libra, but I really think that it's earlier maybe. But yeah, that was happening, that there's a Libra generation. Really, I think the generation or degeneration is symbolized by where Pluto is, and that's where we have Pluto going into Aquarius, that's going to start degenerating and generating in the matters of that the sign of Aquarius points at, which is humanity itself. Like I was trying to tell you, the Aquarius points at the very science that human beings are, aside from what their minds are glitching out saying, well, I'm a, and I am a, and it's like, no, you're just human. Strip down. Okay, there's a man or a woman there. Cool. All right. And so what's your programming like? Did you, oh God, have mercy. The Aries is just that raw physical primal instinct, which isn't the programming. It's just, I'm getting into my senses. No, excuse me, but I'm pretty sure I can do this now. And it's just a baby that starts walking. And that's what's going to keep coming up. See, we have the sun has just moved into it's exalted in Aries. It's like the best place to have the sun, because it's identity in the I am, which isn't the lowercase ego. It's just like I said, it's saying, wow, I've got eyes, I've got ears, I've got 5 points. Put me on a balance beam. Let's do this. Just do this. What are we doing now? Pole vaulting? Skydiving? And you don't judge that. It's the same as saying you don't judge an eagle when it's taking its flight, but what do narcissists do? Oh, they are so envious. This is a great subject matter for the fact that, okay, Venus is having to sit with Saturn and Pisces right now. And Saturn and Pisces, always sulking about their deficit and their limitation, and then they look at outside at something. They will turn on TV and watch the Olympics and get upset because that's not them performing a gymnastic. And they'll mention it. They'll say, God, I feel like crap just watching that. You know, and then there isn't one that I haven't met yet isn't complaining about the fucked up condition that they were raised in. They are there in a place of no feeling, no spirituality. That's what Pisces is. And when you put Saturn there, it takes away from those attributes, and it takes so that when you have Saturn in Pisces, it's possible that the abuse was so gnarly there, they don't control that part, right? It's their surroundings, and they were just exposed. And they have this victim mentality to the bone, and they're kind of messed up because they'll drag you into it, and yeah, you got to argue with them about your disrespect and my ego, and it's kind of like that. It's not right. It's not put there right. It's not just being an eagle in flight. Thank God that rhymed. To see what I and so and not to say that they're not likable or anything. It's like, babes, you can do astrology and figure out, this is great for narcissists, that people are unique, very different from one to the next. That's what's cool about them. And you need to slow down and see. Take off your helmet, take off your bubble wrap, get into your body. Get into your body, which is the essence of your spirit, going, hey man, yeah, I'm here. Dance. You know what? I give you permission, and so does my God, to hate with every fiber of your being anybody who gets in the way of that. wherever you are, if you're doing it with flair, my video that I was trying to communicate about is the difference between narcissists and human beings. See, the narcissists have twisted every bit of information around. That's if you want to know who has done it. It's these things that want um, a place here. Otherwise, it's going to die. And it's like, yeah, you're just the mind, babe. I'm sorry. There's therapists. There's shamans. There's ones that have healed themselves from it. And the truth is, hun, they just show up. They'll show up if you really are miserable enough and you start calling out on every level that you want out of certain imprisonment hell. You will be sent your guru, which is really the one that's going to connect with the one that's in you that's saying, "Excuse me, I would sure like to be able to breathe here. I know this is the real me here that just is, how much can we, how long can we take being separated from our true selves, accommodating a fake self society, perhaps, you see. This conversation cannot be had um, long enough and more intricately enough, and that's what I was trying to get on. The video I'm about to put up right here, I'm going to end it. This woman talking about the eclipse, and she just falls into, and it's a big, of course, pretty soon I predict that there's going to be organizations, advertisements on microcosms, macro, and everything in between, whatever qualities that we're looking at. The main question is it coming from the fake side, the narcissist side, the binary side, the unconnected side? Or is it coming from the holistic side, the real side, the heart connection, the human being side? Just wondering because I like to put my money in the right place. Or anything. My attention, just my attention alone is enough. Fuck money. Put your attention on the truth enough, and you'll be rewarded in so many ways. And when it becomes a human ecological disturbance, really what it means is the non-human ecological is being glitched out. Don't keep giving them power. Switch over to microcosms of your existential reality. Did you go out and yell at your neighbors for having poured poisons all over themselves? You're supposed to do that when you're in jail or any other city place. I mean, what's going on around here is beyond explanation as far as an absolute hazard to any kind of civilization.